That's what you're doing.
Okay, we're here with Ian from Footprint Boats at the 2012 Boat Show, and Ian, you have brought something completely different to the show.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it's a new concept. We're hoping people get it. It's a different way of sort of thinking about boating. So essentially, it's like a Volkswagen Westphalia for the sea. So this is where the first concept started. I didn't think that boating had to mean sitting and staring at the back of your buddy's head. So I wanted to have two couches facing each other, and helm seat on center line, and an easily retractable roof, so you don't have to mess around with buckles and snaps and poles and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's how this forward pod came together with the glass and everything else. It's a unique experience when you're at the helm because there's literally nothing in front of you. So it's almost like flying over the water.
And with all of these large windows, my God, the panoramic view that you have is just incredible.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, you got to be able to see where you're going and see what you're passing by. I mean, that's a big part of boating, right?
Well, exactly, and not just the driver, but the guys just sitting on the couches talking. They're not, trying to peek out a little hole kind of thing. They got a great view.
Yeah, well, that's why you're outside, right? You want to be warm and comfortable, but you want to be outside, right?
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
And then the section back here, which is, it's essentially a glorified tent trailer. The idea behind that was, all right, well, I want to have all my creature comforts with me, and how can I sleep 6 on a small boat?
Let's go in and have a look. Because we just entered the other pod, and this is exactly like what you said. It's like a pop-up tent trailer.
Yeah, so the idea here is that there's a few differences. Main one being I've got an elevated section underneath the dinette table so that you can still sit on the outboard bunk and be at the same seating height as those around you. And the other main difference is most dinettes, they use the dinette table as a fill-in board for the bunk, and then the problem is you can't get in, you can't get around it. So we've got boards that fill in, and they the two boards go together and fill it in completely. So this area can actually be a king. It's actually bigger than a king.
It's bigger than a king-size bed.
Yeah, well, that's half a queen, and this is a double, right?
Yeah.
And so or you can keep it as a single and then use this as a double. So you sleep 4 aft and then 2 forward. The cushions in the backrest forward, they're actually 2 queen pillows, so you pull them out and just use them for sleeping. So.
Well, isn't that actually ingenious? Actually, you have cushions that are normally just for backrest during the day kind of thing, and then when it's time to shut her down at night, you just pop them out and you got your pillows.
That's it.
Wow.
Back here, you've got the other things that you have. Obviously, you've got lighting and stereo and everything else, and you've got pressurized water, quite a lot of storage area. This is kind of a neat unit here. This is it's a Wallace cooker, but it's also a heater, so you do what everyone tells you not to do, and you leave it on and put the lid down, and then there's 2 computerized fans in it. The computer fans blow the air out, so this gets pretty toasty.
Yeah.
And then you got a fridge over here, and a porta potty cabinet over here that you can get to from outside, so you don't have to open up the tent trailer in order to use a porta potty or to get at the cooler over here. So it's accessible from outside. Yeah.
This thing is just incredible.
Thank you.
Ian, let's go outside and have a look on the outside.
Sure.
So Ian, on a trailer, how wide is this boat on a trailer?
It's just under 12. Oh, on the trailer. Sorry.
On the trailer.
It's 8'3" on the trailer.
8'3". Let's come on this way, Ian, because this is something we gotta show on the video, because this is absolutely ingenious. Catamaran style hull, with like a boathouse on top. But okay, so you're what on the trailer again? Sorry.
Yeah, we're 8'3" on the trailer.
8'3" on the trailer.
And when the hulls are out, you're just under 12 feet. So the idea is that you're 12 foot of beam on a 28-foot boat, so you're incredibly stable. So that's what allows you to have 6 people sitting aft and outboard having dinner, and it allows it, you know, obviously you get incredible stability when you're on the water. But the idea is that the hulls are variable in beam, so that when you want to put it on the trailer, you just press a button over here.
This is what I just love. It's variable. Check this out.
So you press a button, and there's 2 winches that pull the hulls in.
Yeah.
And then to send them out, you press the other button, and the hulls come out. So when you're on the water and you're coming into dock, if it's a narrow slip, you can bring the beam in, or if you're getting up on the trailer, you just press the button in and drive her up on the trailer, and away you go.
That's just incredible.
Yeah. It's a very customized trailer. What we did is we got it as low as possible, to the extent that the bunks are almost on the axles, so you can launch in any condition, even if it's a terrible ramp.
Yeah.
If there's water, you can get this off the trailer, and then.
Now that we're outside and we're looking at it from the outside kind of thing, with the camper up, can you still motor down the river or waterway, whatever you're kind of doing?
Yeah, I say not to, although I do it. You know, it's the kind of thing where you got to be careful how much wind there is.
Yeah.
It's a lot of windage, so generally when you close it up. But I'll often pull up the hook if everyone's sleeping and I've got a long day. I'll pull up the hook and just start motoring while the coffee's getting ready, and get a couple hours motoring before everyone wakes up.
But just to cruise from, you know, point A, nice and gentleman-like.
No problem.
No problem at all.
Yeah.
All right, and at the back end, it comes standard with what kind of horsepower?
Well, we've been operating it with twin 30s and having great luck. I'm still playing around with props, but I think I found what I like.
Okay.
Yamaha very kindly gave us these for the show. We didn't want to drag the engines all the way across the country.
Yeah.
With the twin 30s, we're getting 19 knots at the top end, but more importantly, at 12 knots, you're at 1,250 RPM, and you're just sort of putting along smoothly, cruising through the water. And then, you know, at the end of the weekend, you don't have a $300 fuel bill. So
yeah.
It's not designed to be fast. It's designed to be efficient.
Yeah.
It's designed to get your family on the water comfortably and not incur all the great fuel bills or the mortgage bills or anything else. So a buddy of mine calls it the working man's yacht. You know, it's a yacht for normal people that want to get out on the water for the weekend. So
no kidding. I call it absolutely ingenious, Ian. I mean, thank you very much. That is something else.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thanks.
All right. So, Ian, let's talk construction.
Yep. Well, the whole thing about this is that I had to keep it light. I had to keep it light so that you didn't need a massive truck to tow it. And I didn't want paint, gel coat. I didn't want any maintenance. So how do you build a boat that's light and has relatively zero maintenance? And I'm an aluminum boat builder, and I love aluminum as long as you don't paint it. So this is what the entire main deck and the superstructure is made out of, is this aluminum honeycomb paneling.
I'm sorry, what is that?
It's aluminum honeycomb panel.
Okay.
So it's extremely stiff and it's extremely light. And it's anodized, so there's no corrosion issues. And 90% of the boat is made out of this, and it's glued together with aircraft adhesives. So I'm using methacrylates to glue the panel to the extrusions and to each other. That's for 90% of the boat. The hulls are aluminum plate. They're 1/8 thick. More than half of the weight of the boat is in the hulls, and that was intentional because I like to run my boats up on the beach, and we have a lot of logs out in BC, and I smash into stuff. And I let the kids dock the boat, and I don't care. I've got a relatively indestructible hull with large rub rails. There's no messing around with fenders. You just do what you want to do, and you'd be hard pressed to hurt it. And if you did manage to breach the hull, there's 5 watertight compartments in each hull, so you're not going to sink. Personally, I don't know what you could do to actually to puncture the hull. I mean, you have to really smash it. So that's as far as the construction goes. It's zero maintenance was the goal.
Yeah.
Lightweight, so that you could tow it behind an SUV or a light truck.
And okay, talking about weight, what does this weigh in at?
5,500.
5,500 pounds.
That's all
so
up.
Half-ton truck,
Engines on.
No problem.
Oh yeah. Well, we just towed it here from Victoria with an F-150.
Go.
So, yeah.
Proof is in the pudding.
Yeah. So yeah, no, she tows well. Spent a lot of time on that trailer getting it right, and she tows beautifully. I mean, it's there, but it's an easy tow.
Right on. Thanks, Ian.
You're welcome.